Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I am doing my best of 2019 for affordable and drugstore cosmetics. This was a very, very difficult decision because I have tried gazillions of products this year, and there were some that really stood out and some that I use on a daily basis. Some of these rival their high-end comps. And let's just get started because I'm pretty excited. Now, these are all my own opinions. These are the way these products react to me. I am a 61-year-old woman. I have dry skin with wrinkles and texture. I have some uneven skin texture over here, a little bit of texture under the eyes. So it's a real challenge. All right, let's start with primers. This is the Milani Soft Focus Glow. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You would put it underneath your makeup. It's basically a glowing kind of primer. And you can see it gives me a little bit of a glow as compared to my other ugly hands. So with that glow on your face, it not only primes your skin for the foundation to go over the top, but it kind of gives you a lit from within look for your final look with your makeup. For eye primer, I was really pleased because CoverGirl went completely cruelty-free, and in some cases they have a lot of vegan products as well. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter to me, I'll just say that it's not a game changer for me if somebody is not cruelty-free, but I do like to support brands that are. And this is CoverGirl, and this is the Lid Lock Eye Primer. It's a little doe foot applicator, and I basically just put a few lines on my eyelid, and I start from right about here and go up to the end. This is before my eye makeup so that it will help my eye makeup stay for the whole day and not move or crease up. I don't take it too close to the center here, to the inner corner of my eyes, right in here or in here, because it can tend to make the shadows look cracked, so I don't want to do that. But they holds really well on the outer side where I don't have a lot of wrinkles. It's great for that. So the Lid Lock Eye Primer from CoverGirl. For concealers, there was one standout brand this year that just blew me away, and it is Cat Beauty. What a find this was. I have 4 different shades because there are so many shades of this concealer that I couldn't decide. There was a lot of white girl shades. So I'm just going to swatch them for you so you can see the difference in them. I used Buff in the end. That was my big thing. So let me just swatch them all and I will show them to you one by one. This is Vanilla Bean. And I found that one to be a little bit light. This one is Soft Cream, and it has a pink undertone. I think you can see the difference between these two. They're both on the same tonal lightness to darkness level, but they are different as far as the undertone goes. So this is a very strong, and this is Soft Cream. This is Custard, and this is more of a light medium shade. And you can see it's more of a neutral to warm tone undertone. It's a huge difference between that one and the other ones, and they're not that far apart on the scale. This last one is Buff. And this is the one I ultimately went with. So this is Buff. So we have Vanilla Bean, Soft Cream, Custard, and Buff. So it's very, very misleading what they look like on the cover because they don't really appear exactly as they do on the cover. You really have to look for them. But they are so cheap. I think they're like $5 or $6 each. So finding your own shade or even mixing 2 shades together to create the perfect shade for you is well worth it. They go on creamy, they last all day, absolutely wonderful concealers. For foundations, and I'm sure you're waiting on this one. I'm going to start, I have 3 different foundations. One of them is, these are the Match Made drops from number 7. And this is the Cool Vanilla shade, and it is very cool. I find number 7 to be extremely cool toned to neutral. But on its own, it's a grayish cool tone. I actually need to adjust it. You can mix this in with moisturizer. You can use it straight up. It is a skin-like appearance, which I really like, and it's very, very age-friendly. So if you can find the warmer tone version of this, if you are similar to my skin tone, that's great. If not, you can use these. These are adjusters, and they're from Ulta Beauty. And what you can do is lighten or darken or warm up your foundation or concealer using this light and dark set from Ulta. And it comes with a little tray where you can pour them out and mix them all together. Or you can mix a little moisturizer, and that always lightens things up. But I do like the number 7. And the Cool Vanilla was the closest to my light and dark tone. It just was a little bit gray neutral for me. Now another foundation type of thing is the tinted moisturizer from Ulta Beauty. And this I haven't talked about before, I don't think. I had this in the summertime, and I was a little darker then. This is the shade Light Cool, and it's actually a little bit dark cool for me. Yeah, it's just a little bit dark, but you know, with these tinted moisturizers, they do sheer out. They are extremely flexible as far as blending with your skin tone. Now this does make my skin a little bit darker. I take it all the way down the neck. Anything that's going to show, if I have a blouse on or something and it's got a little bit of a neckline, I make sure that there's some of this down there in it. I can put some of my Ulta shade adjusting drops into this and make it a little bit lighter so that it goes with my skin tone a little bit better. This is really actually quite nice for a tinted moisturizer. It is the drugstore price. Affordable price, even though it's the Ulta brand, and some people would assume that wasn't a drugstore product. It is, and I think that this is quite nice. It has a sunscreen in it, SPF 30. So I think in the summertime I use this almost every day at work. I really enjoyed it. It lasts pretty well. It starts to break down, I'd say, maybe after about 6 hours or so. It's not something that's going to last forever. But it does give you an initial kind of coating, and if you powder it, if you put a little spray on the end, you will have it last a little bit longer. But just on its own, if you're just going to throw something on to go out for a picnic or something, it will break down after about 6 hours. So I do like the Ulta Beauty, and this is the Broad Spectrum 30 Tinted Moisturizer. My foundation of the year came late. And I had found it on Amazon, but now I just saw a display in CVS. They do have a special display for this release. This is from Maybelline. It is the Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. This is a hydrating foundation. Hey, yeah. I love the hydrating foundations. This shade is number 120. It is Classic Ivory. And very, very nice. It spreads nicely with a sponge or with a buffing brush. I love this. Dries down nicely. Looks like skin. I think this is a winner. I like this better than any of the other Maybelline foundations I have tried. I think it's a fabulous, fabulous foundation. It's worth trying. It is a drugstore product. And again, I have dry skin, wrinkles, crinkles, lines. It doesn't settle in the lines. It doesn't show off the texture. It's just a really nice, nice foundation. So don't confuse it with anything else. This is the Dream Radiant Liquid. I also like the, these are the LA Girl foundation mixers, and these can also be used to change out undertones in foundation or lightness and darkness, and this is the white one. I do use this once in a while when I've got a summer foundation that's a little bit dark. For the winter, I just put a teeny bit of this, just a little drop goes a long way, and it mixes it really nice. And in the case of the number 7, I would use like a yellow or a red tone to mix in with that so that I would get more of a closer tone to my skin tone. Going into blushes. This is new to me this year, and I've never used this type of blush before. But when they came out with these, I just thought I would try it. You know, it looks a little dark in the pan, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to like that. But I'm actually wearing this one today. This is from ColourPop, and it's called Count Me In. This is a wonderful jelly blush. It's a texture that's, it's kind of like a cream, but it's more of a cream to powder formulation. This is a perfect color for my skin tone. I absolutely love this. Count Me In. And these are the Color Shock, I believe they're called Color Shock, Super Shock Cheek Blushes from ColourPop. They're very inexpensive. I think they're $8 each, maybe, not even. But this one is Count Me In, and it looks much lighter and more, like it doesn't look this dark on the skin. And it stays all day. It's really great. You do have to close the cover up tightly, I'm told, because it does over time harden up. So you have to, about every 6 months or so, I guess they're hard, or you hit pan or whatever. So I love it, and it for a newfangled blush, I think it's really cool. Now, traditional blush, a powder blush, I can never stop these. These are the Essence Satin Touch Blush, and this one is in Satin Coral. It's a very, very pretty, subtle blush. They only have a few colors in this. I think they have Satin Love and Satin Coral. I don't know if I've seen other shades, but they're just very nice. If you're a medium to light skin person, these work really nicely. If you're a darker skin person, these would be more almost on the highlight effect. So Essence, and these are the Satin Touch blushes. For highlight, this wins almost every year, and there's a reason for it. This is the Essence Pure Nude. Now, they do have a second type of this, but I don't like it as much. This is the original. It's a very subtle kind of just bring a little sunshine to your face sort of highlighter. It's not a big stripe, so it's not over the top glam, but it's just a very pretty, healthy, radiant look that you get from it. And it's been on my list now, I think, for 3 years in a row since I first bought it, I think. So, Essence Nude. For contour, I tried something new this year, and I haven't tried this kind of thing before, because when I saw this in the pan, I thought, oh Lord, this is way too dark. But when I put it, actually the way I use a contour is I just make kind of a little triangle in the corner, and I already have one there, so it's just going to emphasize that. But then I just kind of bring it out a little bit. I don't bring it any closer than here or here. I just keep it in the back there just to give a little bit of dimension underneath the St. Bernard gels here, just a little bit, and it just kind of gives the optical illusion of dimension. And I like this color. This is from Pixie, and this is Shape and Shadow. And I think I might have even gotten this at TJ Maxx. I don't know, but I really like it a lot, and I've been using it now for about a month and a half. Bronzer, if you can handle the smell of the coconut, which some people cannot, but I can, and I like it. This is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. It does come with its own little spongy applicator, which I don't like. I generally will use my own applicator for this. Or you can use a nice powder brush for it, and just going around the temples. You can do the 3 and take it down the neck, take it down into the décolleté, and you just get that healthy, even in winter look. I think it's a really nice product. It's simple, except for the coconut scent. I think it's just a marvelous bronzer. I don't make it too complicated. In the morning, I I'm not very awake in the morning when I'm putting my makeup on, so I just kind of grab for things. To set my face, I discovered this year and I have not gone back. This is the J-Cat Beauty Porcelain Loose Powder. This is better than any powder I've ever used, including high-end. This is a stunning face powder. You can use it as a setting powder, you can use it as a finishing powder. It just does a marvelous job at setting things so they don't move. It's a pretty color on me. There are different colors. They do have a banana powder, they have a darker powder. This is just fabulous stuff. It is so finely milled. It's one of those that looks like smoke when you open it up. I think it's fabulous. From J-Cat Beauty, this is probably about $5 or $6. So definitely worth looking into. Now at Christmas Tree Shop, I noticed they had a whole display of J-Cat Beauty, and they did have this in the porcelain left. And I know that they keep running out of it online because people are discovering how wonderful it is and they're getting backups. I definitely would recommend this over any other face powder. Eyebrows. The NYX Micro Brow Pencil, on one end is a spoolie, on the other end is your color. It does turn up. This is the perfect eye pencil. I love the spoolie on the other end, and this color, taupe I believe it is perfect for me. Yes, taupe. Taupe is perfect for a medium to light blonde person. I always have one of these. I think they're fabulous. I think if you like the pencil type of brow product, this is your person here. This is your gal. The NYX Micro Wiz. I am not so much into the pomades as I am into the brow tint brushes and also the pens or pencils. Now this is the Ulta Brow Tint in Blonde. And even though it is in blonde, it is a light color, but it's not light blonde. So you're still going to find it's more of a, I would say, a medium blonde shade. You don't want to go too light on your brows. You don't want to go too dark either, but this is wonderful. You can feel it holding your brows in place, kind of like hairspray for your eyebrows. Keeps them in place. I think it's pretty cool. That is the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint, and it's in blonde. They have several colors of this. I discovered this, I don't know, a couple years ago. I bought it, and then when it ran out, I never replaced it. And then I got one that was the wrong color in one of those box sets. And it reminded me how much I liked it. So I got the blonde tint, and I'm really happy with it. For eyeliners, it's NYX again, and this is the Epic Ink Liner. This rivals my Kat Von D Trooper eyeliner. I mean, it just really goes on nicely. Gives you a really strong line that's controllable. It doesn't splay out. You get a really nice line. It's a nice black color. And especially if you're wearing false lashes, this is really nice to fill in between the gaps, or to do the intro on the inner eye going into the false lash, so it looks like a more natural transition. So the NYX Epic Ink Liner. For pencil liners, again, it's Pixie, and I love their Silky Eye pen. Wonderful. This particular color is Copper, and it's kind of a shimmery brown shade. It reminds me a little of my Charlotte Tilbury Amber Moon, and it's a very good eyeliner. It's very difficult to get it off. Once it sets, it's in there, and I like that about it. It's really good. So lining underneath the eyes or on the edge, or you can smudge it up to use it as an eyeshadow. Absolutely wonderful. For glitter liner, and I only use this for really big events, weddings, that sort of thing. This is from Profusion, from one of their sets. So you're basically just taking right along the lash line, and it does put a little bit of sparkle there. When it dries down, it is just captures the light. So it's kind of the poor man's kitten. So let's get into eyeshadows, and I want to talk about singles. Now for loose pigment, and this is kind of like it's eyeshadow that hasn't been pressed down into a pan, but you can still use it as eyeshadow. This is from Wet n Wild, and it's called You're My Boo. I think this came out right around Halloween time. It's got a cute little top to it here. Let me just pull this up. It's got a little stopper on it. Don't be afraid of loose pigment, because those are some of the prettiest shadows when you actually apply them. So what I do is you can pour it out onto a little tray or on your hand like this, and then you will take a brush and you'll just, you can just put it onto your eye, or you can use your finger to put it on your eye. But a loose pigment can really do some amazing things as far as transforming your eye look through other shadows. It goes over the top of your other shadows in a lot of cases, and it will really zip it up. So I don't know if you can see, that's You're My Boo from Wet n Wild. And for a loose pigment, I think it was only a couple of dollars. It was a really great deal. Now last year, so many palettes were released, eyeshadow palettes, that we all kind of got burnt out, and there were a lot of starting to declutters, low buys, no buys. I mean, people were just disgusted. Anastasia, Beverly Hills, ColourPop. There were a lot of people that were putting out new palettes every single week, and I know Anastasia put out several celebrity or YouTube influencer collaboration palettes. There were like 4 of them in a row, and I was pretty disgusted with that. And at that point I started to think, you know what, we really only want certain colors for ourselves. When they pick out palettes that are all like honey, you know, and it's all like yellow, red, orange, dark orange, you know, reddish blue, I just, and then a pop of blue. I'm not interested in it. I may like one of those colors, but I don't like the rest. So the whole concept of picking out your own colors for a palette, to me, is the most attractive. And one of the original people who did this, and I still love this company, and I hope Marlene is okay. I saw that she's pregnant. She posted a picture of the, you know, the little sonogram there of the baby. Well, anyway, Makeup Geek sells a blank palette, and then you buy individual colors to fill the palette with. So I picked out these 9 colors that I like. Now if I saw this palette, I would buy it because I like these colors. Now I have my light shade vanilla so that I can do the base. I have a transition shade here, and then I have like darker shade for the corner. I have this kind of really neat holographic kind of changey color. Changes to a different thing when you turn your head. It's kind of neat. And then I have a blue just in case I want to do a blue. You never know when you want to do a blue. So I like the idea of picking my own colors and making my own palettes. Now any really high quality company that offers the singles, you can just get a Z palette from anywhere. I have some from Sephora. This is a blank one from Sephora. You can get Z palettes online. Amazon sells them. You can get them where they're blank and they're just magnetic, or you can glue a magnet on the back of a pan and stick it on there that way. I think this is the way to go. I think that this is the way you get the colors that work for you in a palette that you like. But if you're going to buy a palette in the drugstore that's already made up, there are a few options. But there's 2 palettes that to me are the winners this year. The palette of the year part 1 is from Amazon. Now there's a million eye palettes on Amazon.com, and I know that when you're looking at them you can't tell which ones are kind of crappy, cheapy stuff and which ones will actually work. This is a company called Changeable. And I paid my own cash money for these. These were not sent to me. This is Fantasy Volumes 1 and 2. And I'm just going to open this up. Now they're smaller pans, but what's nice about that is you can, I've got them both together. You can just dip into these. I mean, these people make the same stuff as some of the high-end factory. See, a lot of these shadows feel very high-end. I have been enjoying this so much. I've been experimenting with colors, and if I like a certain color, I'll look for it as a single in maybe one of the other nicer brands. But this is Changeable, is the name of the company, and Fantasy Volume 1 and 2 is the volume. These are my #1 palettes from Amazon, and I'll link those below. I think if you have these two, you've got every color you need. It's got everything. If you want to go to the drugstore and get something, or you just want to go online real quick, LA Girl. This is the Born Exclusive palette. I think this has all the feeling of like a Too Faced or a Tarte palette. It feels very high-end. It's just amazing. There are 35 shades in this palette, 35 shades. I like this. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. The names on these colors are tasteful and very nice. Talented, authentic, classy, sociable, posh, cheerful, poise. I mean, they're positive names for positive things we would want our younger gals and teens to really like. But this, even though you would think this is toy makeup, this is a really high quality palette. I like it very much. I've been having fun with the different colors. You've got greens and turquoise and blues, purples. You've got a little bit of pinks. You've got your brown neutrals. Everything is represented here except grays, I think. And I have those in other palettes. But I think this is just an amazing palette for the price. It was $19.99. On the website for LA Girl, I think it's $25 plus shipping. So if you can find it in a CVS, they usually have them in a special display above the face creams. The LA Girl palette, Born Exclusive, is the #1 palette to me for the drugstore or affordable palette category. For mascara, this is Flower Beauty, and it is the Warrior Princess mascara. I am wearing it now. I am not wearing false lashes right now. This is an amazing mascara. It gives you big old honking lashes. It lasts all day. It does not smear. It does not leave dings on your eyes. It's easy to work. It doesn't feel scratchy. And it's just a great formula. I really like it. I also like supporting Drew Barrymore because she's the CEO of this company, Flower Beauty. They used to carry them in Walmart. They used to carry them in Ulta. I think now you can find these online and on Amazon. So that's the Warrior Princess Mascara. Lip products were a little hard this year because there's just so many, you know, with so many different types and so many different brands. I've got to go back to basics though. Milani Nude Lip Liner is something I reach for all the time. This is a wonderful, basic, everyday kind of lip liner if you are a medium to light skinned person. It is the Nude #3, I believe, from Milani. And this is Jordana, and this is Tawny, it's called. This is a screw up kind of thing. This is a dupe for Pillow Talk, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Jordana version of Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, and it looks identical to it on the lips. For lipsticks, I have a tie. I have one color that I feel is a basic everyday, and that is the Milani, and this is Nude Cream number 26. This is a basic nude color. Very wearable. It's very nice. I love Milani lipsticks, and this is a nice cream formula. It's not matte. It's really nice. From Revlon, they are my other favorite drugstore lipstick company, and this is called Berry Smoothie, and this is more of a mauve pink color, or a mauve pink nude. Let me put it on. It's a really nice Your Lips But Better with a little bit of color. So these two shades are similar in the tonal range, but they are different as far as one is more of a warm tone and one is more of a cool tone neutral. For liquid lips, Morphe has an extraordinary liquid lip formulation. This is called Schoolgirl, and this is what I was wearing before I put the other one on. This is wonderful. Vanilla cupcake scented. Just have to let it dry for a second. Republican smile, I call it. That is Morphe. But it wears down. It's more of a natural look. It doesn't look patchy when it's worn down. So I do like this from Morphe, even though I'm not a huge fan of that company. That is a great, great lipstick. Now Carity is an old school, they used to be on Amazon, used to get them really cheap. They were on, I think they were on the Hush.com site, but Carity makes inexpensive but luxury products, and this is one of their glosses, and it's called Layla, and it's a very nice pigmented kind of lip gloss. You could actually wear it as a lipstick, but it's considered a gloss. And I love it. Let me just pull this other stuff off for a sec. Anything that goes over the top of it, it really makes it look nice. But this is Layla. Now Carity, on the website for Carity itself, the stuff is a lot less expensive than it is in CVS, because obviously they have to pay some kind of commission to CVS for the product placement in the store. But this particular color is Layla, and this is the perfect everyday, I wear this to work a lot, color. If you're a medium to light skin tone, this is really pretty. It's a nude without looking pasty nude, you know. For a lip gloss, I really like these. This is a plumping gloss from Milani. This is called Keep It Full, and this is the tropical one. When you put it over the top of anything else, you get this beautiful shimmer. It warms it up, and your lips just look healthy. And this is really good if you have chapped lips, because it just makes your lips look healthy and moist rather than all dried up and wrinkly. Moving on to nails, I like the CVS brand. This is Beauty 360 No Light Gel polish. I do use the white one. I generally use underneath other colors, but they do have some colors on their own that are quite nice. You just have to make sure you get the fresh ones in the back. Because they let nail polishes sit for quite a while, so they're really separated. This particular shade is called Blush, which doesn't look much like a blush to me, but it's Blush. And it's basically a light white color. Reminds me a lot of Essie's ballet slippers, very similar. For nail polish remover, I love these little pads, and you can get them in the Dollar Tree and General Dollar. They come in a little container like this, and when you screw it up, they're these tiny little, like, microscopic pads, and they are, let me just show you how well it works. It takes off all the nail polish. Does a great job. And they're tiny little things. It's just $1 for this little container. You get like 30 pads in here. But if you're traveling, this is great. It's so much easier than bringing one of these big goofy things with you. This is really nice, and it smells good. They have orange, banana, strawberry, cherry, but you can see it takes everything off, and it makes your nail feel very hydrated. For setting spray, there is a company called Dollar General in the US, and they tend to run an inexpensive place. Things aren't $1 there, but they are very inexpensive, and they do carry a lot of makeup lines that are on the lower end spectrum. But they have their own company called Believe Beauty, and Believe Beauty has a really nice foundation. If you are a normal to oily person, you love their foundation. I like their lip products. I like some of their eyeliners, the liquid and the regular eyeliner in Olivia, I think they called it. Excellent, really good. Foundation was good. I didn't like the concealer. They did have some nice eyeshadow palettes. And this is the Makeup Perfecting Setting Spray. And it's a very nice, it has a pleasant smell. If you didn't tell me that this came from Dollar General, I would have said, this is high-end. It feels more like a Scandinavia kind of product. So I think that this is a wonderful setting spray. For perfume, I'm a Shalimar girl. I love Shalimar cologne, perfume, the body lotion, soap, whatever you have, Shalimar, I love it. It's like that vanilla thing going on. And this is an imitation of it. And obviously the bottle is different, but this is a online company imitation of Shalimar. So if you ever see this, absolutely wonderful. For some reason, Shalimar is easy to duplicate. For limited edition brushes, this was something that came out in the summertime. This was the Pac-Man. The Pac-Man brush set. This was the powder brush and this was the eyeshadow brush. I wish I'd bought more of them at the time because they're both excellent brushes. I wash my brushes after every use and I'm really rough on them. These things have maintained their shape. They go on, they make your makeup go on like a dream. This eyeshadow brush especially is wonderful. I like the little glitter in there. It's kind of fun to just kind of play around with it. But it's limited edition. You can still find them in some CVS's. You can find them online. Maybe Amazon might carry them. I don't know. But the powder brush, this is wet because I just washed it, and the eyeshadow brush were outstanding for a limited edition brush. I'm so happy I got those. For regular everyday brushes, I can't really beat Real Techniques. I use these particular brushes almost every day. The buffing brushes are wonderful for foundation, and then this is wonderful for putting on highlighter. There's some smaller brushes here that you can smudge with, and then this one is a wonderful crease brush. This is a nice shadow brush. This is a nice larger blending shadow brush. It really blends out things. Real Techniques to me is just a quality act. They have some specialty brushes. They came out with a metallic line. This is a really nice crease and shearing out brush. Fabulous, fabulous. Love them. For my concealer, this is a Morphe brush. And I'm not even sure what the number is anymore. It's been a long time and it's worn off. But this shape, this particular shape, it works really well to blend out the concealer under my eyes and then also to add the powder to underneath my eyes especially. I love this brush, and it's from Morphe. So if you see it, this is something that I love from Real Techniques. It got released this year, I believe. This is their foundation blender brush. Now it's like you hold it in your hand like this, but when you turn it this way, it looked familiar to me, and it looks exactly like the Artiste number 7 brush. Remember those handle brushes that look like toothbrushes and everybody was doing, and they were hard to work with because they wouldn't dry. Now I washed this one, but when you buff in your your foundation with this. It is just like an Artiste number 7. If you put a handle on here, you wouldn't know the difference between the two. I love this brush. I have washed it. It holds its shape. It dries overnight. It's absolutely wonderful. This is my favorite face product brush. You can also blend in your contour with it. You can blend in your blush with it, but I use it for foundation, and I think it works really well. Now, I've always liked the e.l.f. Basic Blush Brush, and I've had several. A lot of times the ferrule will break apart here and you have to use super glue to put it back on. That's no big deal, because the actual important part of the brush to me is this part, and it works really well putting blush on. So when they came out with the travel set, I was quite excited because I like the quality of e.l.f. brushes. I have washed the dickens out of these, and they're still pure white. They've been used. The eyeshadow brush is thick, but it's really good for blending out the crease. This one is really good for highlighter or blending out the crease. This is really good for contour or blush, and then this one again, contour or blush. Absolutely wonderful. And I think this is probably pretty close. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same. I like this. Now the handles are short because it is a travel set, but I think that's really nice. And I use it the way I'm supposed to. I think this is a great set. And e.l.f. really knows how to do brushes well. MUA, Makeup Artist or Makeup Academy, they have a section in CVS. I don't know why they have such a big section, because I don't think they're that popular. I bought this last year there. This is a mascara comb, and what you do is you push it through your lashes and it pulls out any of those little dingies at the end of your mascara. It'll separate lashes if you kind of glued 2 or 3 of them together with your mascara. This is a wonderful thing. Absolutely wonderful, the mascara cone. It is curved, so you can see it's curved rather than flat, because some of the lash combs are flat, and I don't think they work as well as the curved. So the curved is great because it kind of follows the natural curve of your eye. For sponges, this one wound up getting caught up in the vacuum and it got mangled. This is my favorite sponge. This is Echo Tools, and these run around $5 or so. I like these better than the Beauty Blender sponge. And I like, there's a short slant end, there's a long slant end, and then there's a round part. So you can do a variety of activity with your makeup. It's very soft. The feeling is only slightly less cushy than the Beauty Blender. I love this sharp thing on the end, so you can get underneath if you're putting concealer on or if you're blending it in. It's a really nice thing if you're blending into your nose, into wrinkles. This little sharp edge is nice, and I like the shorter end for this, for going up the nose or whatever. So this is the Echo Tools Blender Sponge. Really, really nice. I have to get another one now because I mangled this one. It washes well too. I use this all the time because when you're using an eyeshadow and you're down to just a few eyeshadow brushes, this is a really nice dry brush cleaner. This is also a donut you would put on the back of your head. You can make a ponytail updo with it. They sell them in the Dollar Tree. They're very inexpensive. I use them as a poor man's color switch. And I do have color switch here. Same idea. It's a little bit rougher, but it's the same idea and it gets it done. So I do like this, and I do wash these as well. Ulta makes a great sharpener for large size pencils and for small size pencils. I always am sharpening everything. I like a really good point on all of my pencils, either lip pencils or eye pencils or brow pencils that go in here, and I do clean this as well. I always make sure these are clean. For lashes, I'm not wearing false lashes today, but I did get this set of 50 for an incredibly low price. I think it was like $18, but there were 50 pairs in here. There are 5 different sets of, I think there's 10 pair on each row. and I've really been enjoying it. I haven't had a bad one yet. So this is one of the sets. They're all different. On each card is a different style. And then this one you can see where I actually cut along the edge because they're a little bit large for my eyes. I have smaller eyes. So I really love this. It's great. So my next video on the best of 2019 will be skincare, hair care, and lifestyle products that really make my life a lot easier. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I will be up with the next video in about a week. I hope all of you have a wonderful new year, and best of luck and love and success to you. Take care. Toodles.